My name's Chris Coco and I'm a chill out DJ and a journalist and a music maker. My involvement in this project is that I'm doing the soundtrack for the visuals that are being created, and what we're trying to do is take people on a journey which starts off with a sunrise. It goes through a day of chilling out and looking at a beautiful countryside, goes into a night where things get a bit twisted and strange like they tend to do in Ibiza, and ends up where you started off at the beginning of the next day. So it's like 24 hours, but not your average 24 hours, so not going to loads of clubs and seeing lots of British people jumping up and down to the same music that they listen to back at home, but a different 24 hours. So you can see blue sky, red earth, turquoise sea, and various other peculiar happenings.
So you can breathe like a baby. Sorrows behind these walls.
Ibiza's always been about, not just about clubbing, it's always been about, well for me Ibiza's about doing whatever you want to do, whoever you are, being able to do whatever you want to do. Shall I take my sunglasses off? I forgot. So you don't have to come here and go clubbing and take loads of drugs and go crazy if you don't want to. That's the whole point. You can go and eat in fantastic restaurants, or just lie on a beach, and drink water, or just whatever you want. You should be able to find it here. So obviously one of the major elements of that is the chill outside, the lying on beaches and stuff, and doing that. It's really nice. It's much better if you have a good soundtrack to go with it. So they've built up this tradition of the sunset cafes, where you get thousands of people now actually going and watching a sunset to this, listening to lovely music that they probably never heard before. And that kind of thing has spread out, and people have started making chill out compilations about Ibiza, and it's also kind of the spirit of the place as well, kind of takes you over. I always find that when I come here, the first thing I do when I get back is like run into the studio and try and make some music to try and capture that great feeling that you had when you were away in music, that it inspires you. The place inspires you, I think. At the moment I'm trying to make a track, and the name of the track's going to be God's Own Cinema, because that's what the sunset is. It's like, when it's a good one, it's like, I don't even know if I believe in God actually, but it starts to make you think about stuff like that. But it's like a picture being painted by Mother Nature or God or whatever it is. And it kind of clears your head, and it's more about, you said what goes through your mind, but it's more about feelings than thinking. So you're thinking on some kind of deeper level. And some friends of ours who saw their first sunset at Cafe de Mar yesterday, one of them said, I just want to go and hug somebody. And it just makes you feel like that, because it's just kind of big. It's so much bigger than you are, and so much more special than you are, and it makes you realise how little you are, but it also makes you realise how lucky you are to be somewhere fabulous and have the time to actually sit there and watch the sunset and listen to lovely music. So it's really about feelings, and it's the track that I'm trying to make is trying to capture those feelings in music, because I don't think you can really do it in words. That's why people, when you ask people about Ibiza and chill out and all these things, they start rambling. Hopefully on the mix that I do for this, it will have a lot of this music that's been made by people, either people from here or people trying to capture the spirit of the place. My ideal kind of chill out day would be, it does involve having a night as well. So you've had a mad night doing whatever you did, So you get up quite late and drink coffee. That's the most important thing to start with, and then kind of vaguely decide what to do. Go somewhere for lunch, by which time it's about 4:30, something like that, which is a good time to go and lie on a beach. So you do that, listen to some nice music. Then when it's almost too late, you jump up, rush to your car and zoom somewhere else to get a good sunset. Just chasing the sun, which you always seem to end up doing when you're here, but that's quite fun as well. Watch the sunset, listen to some more great music, and then start going off on some nighttime adventure, because probably at some point along that journey you will bump into somebody that you know, or hook up with somebody and start doing something that you didn't really think of at the start of the day. And again, that's part of an ideal day. So it's no plans, you're just kind of going with the flow. And if you do that in Ibiza, I don't know why, but if you do that, things just work out. When you're playing chill out music, especially when you're playing to a sunset, you have to compare it with doing the other thing that you do as a DJ, which is play in a nightclub, where you're basically making a connection between yourself and the people on the dance floor. And when you're playing to a sunset, even though you haven't got the same thing with the people, because you're not having to make them dance and keep them dancing and try and build them up to some kind of climax, you're still trying to make a connection between yourself and what's happening, what you're watching, which is like cloud, sky, sun. And it's actually about as difficult as playing in a club and trying to make that thing work. But when it does, it's almost more fantastic than when you get a response from a dance floor, because you're creating something really, really special and like a unique sort of homage to nature, if you like, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but it is like that, because and people can feel it. You just put something on and it happens to work to the second, and you can't plan stuff like that. It's just like that's kind of vibe. They're things that reflect the mood of the time of day. So it'll start off with very ambient stuff at the beginning. Then as the sun comes up and it gets hotter, you start having more beaty kind of things with Latin influences. Then slowing down again for the sunset, going really, 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 really minimal as the sun goes down. And then as it goes off into the night, you start getting a bit twisted, like your 303s will come in, a little bit of acid house influence and strange music. You're not quite sure what part of the world it comes from. Different cross-cultural influences to kind of reflect that sort of nighttime madness after the calmness of the day. So there's quite a range of music, even though it's all pretty chilled. There's a big range of music, but that's what's really good about chill out, is that you can play a whole range of stuff. You're not restricted by the beats per minute. You don't have to play a specific style that works with a specific club. You don't have to play any hits. You can just kind of go wherever you want.